Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review and reviewing another anniversary review, and which anniversary of one of my favorite films, and obviously this is the 20th me revisiting the review of the film because I've already reviewed this film before, but it was like I did like in 5 parts, so I want to do this all in one review if I can. Yeah, if I can, I can do an all one review. But I did this review in 5 parts. But revisiting again marks the 20th anniversary this year of the sequel, The Lost World Jurassic Park. Um, Now with this one, a lot of people tend to talk down on this film a lot, though. Which some people say is one of their least favorite films in the series. To me, I disagree. I think it's a film that's a bit. I think it's a film that is underrated. I would say it's an underrated sequel. Although even though I do see the issues that people say though, but I don't let them bother me as I used to because I grew up with this film and I always enjoyed the film like I did with the first film growing up. My all-time favorite movie of the first film, Jurassic Park. Grew up with the sequel and I always enjoyed it watching it as a kid. I still do to this day. Yeah, even though nowadays I do see the problems that people think what they don't like about it though, but in this case I don't let it bother me though. But yeah, which I'll get to though. But Steven Spielberg, he comes back to direct, which is based on the book of The Lost World that Michael Crichton came back to make another book, in which they kind of they quickly wanted to rush the book because since the first one was a hit, they really wanted to get a sequel in this. Which I read both books of the first Jurassic Park and as well as The Lost World. I've read both of the books and I love them. But they wanted to quickly get this because the first one was a big hit, and the book was published about if I remember it was 94. I think it was or 95. So they really after that show was published, they want to really get this film out into a sequel film. And it was one of the few times that Steven Spielberg, because besides him making all the Indiana Jones films, he hasn't directed. He's not a big guy of directing sequels. So this is like besides the Indiana Jones films, it's like the other sequel he's directed to a film that he's directed. And you got Jeff Goldblum, who plays Ian Malcolm for the first film. He comes back, as well as Richard Attenborough in a small role from the first film as John Hammond. And the film, like I said, it was released in '97 during the summer. It was a big hit. It made $618 million worldwide. It was the second highest grossing film in 1997, behind Titanic, which of course, at the time, everybody loved Titanic. It was one of the best movies ever. Now, wondering though, and people will ask me really quick, I will not review the Titanic for review the 20th anniversary of Titanic because it would probably, first of all, it would take me like about 3 hours to go from bit to bit though. But I don't care for Titanic though. Like my brother says, I would agree with him. Like he thinks the film is like boring. He just wants to skip to the end till the ship breaks in half. But that would just take me forever because I think it's like too long of a movie for me to go through. So, but I just overall just didn't care for Titanic. Still, a lot of people love the movie, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. But yeah. So being asked though, I'm not gonna review the 20th anniversary of Titanic. But I heard talk about this. But I still enjoy the movie. Still, it's still my this with the third one combined my favorite sequels as well as favorite films, because the first film is in a league of its own as my all-time favorite film. Then I'll put the sequels together, the second one and the third one. But but the film I still enjoy. Like I said, the cast does the cast, the support cast do a good job still. Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore, who I enjoy, one of my favorite actresses. I do enjoy her as Sarah Harding, Ian Malcolm's girlfriend. It was nice to see Richard Attenborough in there. The late Pete passed away as the hunter named Roland. I enjoy him. May he rest in peace. Arliss Howard, who plays Ludlow, who's who plays John Hammond's nephew, Ludlow, or Private Cowboy himself from Full Metal Jacket. yeah, Arliss Howard. He played Private Cowboy from Full Metal Jacket. It's like, oh yeah, how tall are you, sir? 5'9", sir. 5'9". I didn't know they stack shit that high. Try to squeeze an inch on me on there. Yeah, so Private Cowboy is in this film as well as John Hammond's nephew, Peter Ludlow. Vince Vaughn, which is I still find weird to this day because it's kind of like a different place place that films he starred in. He's always mostly started a lot of comedy films, but so him starring in a science fiction dinosaur film with greediness and suspense. Well, I'm speaking that at a tone with other films he starred in, though. Besides doing comedy films, I know he stars in the thriller film Domestic Disturbance with John Travolta, where he plays like a psychopathic killer. That's like another definitely added tone part for Vince Vaughn. I'm not counting about the Psycho remake because that was one of the worst remakes, which he was definitely miscast as Norman Bates. I'm not talking about that film. Like Domestic Disturbance, and like this film, totally out of a different film for him from doing comedy films. So it was kind of nice to see. Still nice to see Vince Vaughn in this film, in the Jurassic Park universe. And he's the guy who's Greenpeace. Some people don't like him because he's a bit of an a-hole. He's a bit he joined Greenpeace, for women and all that. Yeah, I can get that though, but I like Vince Vaughn as an actor, so I'm willing to let that slide. Peter Stormare has a role in this as well, who I enjoy also as an actor, from Constantine, from many other movies. I enjoy Peter Stormare. So overall, yeah, the cast do overall very good. And it's a short time after Jurassic Park, after the first film. It opens up with the second island, Isla Sorna, where this British family are at the beach, and the young girl gets attacked by compies, the smaller dinosaurs. And of course, people make the thing that because people say this film was a little bit boring and all that stuff because you see first thing you see Dr. Malcolm, he starts yawning. To me personally, I never thought this was a boring movie. Even growing up, I never thought it was a boring movie. Yeah, but I get the inside joke because yawning, boring, yeah. But he goes to see John Hammond. You get Ariana Richards and Joseph Mazzello, who played Lex and Tim from the first film. They only appear in only just for a cameo when they go to see. When me and Malcolm goes to see John Hammond when he's talking to Arliss Howard, and because that Ian Malcolm's career went down because as Arliss Howard he twists the facts around and about what happened in the first. In the first movie, and no one believed Dr. Malcolm, even though he told the truth. So, and then he's talking with Richard Attenborough, and he's told about the second island, and he wanted to hire an expedition to go to study the dinosaurs, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm not making the same mistakes again." And I like when Jeff Goldblum goes, "No, you're making all new ones." Oh. And when he learned that his girlfriend, Julie Moore, is already on the island, and he's like, this is not an expedition anymore. It's a rescue operation, and it's leaving now. And then you get John Williams' score, and that's another good positive that John Williams once again he did a good job with the score. He tweaked, made a different type of score like compared to the first film. You have to have the theme, of course, though, but he like did a different tone of that score for the first film and made it a little bit slightly different, though. But still, I enjoy the score by John Williams. It's still a good score. And the effects in this film are still fantastic to this day by Stan Winston. I love the effects in this film like I did it for the first film. And it's definitely a well mix of CGI and practical effects by Stan Winston. The CGI I see are pretty good as well, but when you see the practical effects of the T-Rex or the Stegosaurus and up close to the Raptors and such and other dinosaurs, excellent effects, top notch effects by Stan Winston. The visual effects of this film are great in this movie, and the score too as well by John Williams. So, and he meets with Vince Vaughn and Richard Schiff, who plays Eddie Carr, who's also a character in the book. He's the tech expert. Tells getting all these vehicles ready for the island, and they get to the island, and then they see right here the Stegosaurus is it's like this is amazing. Jeff Goldblum's like, oh yeah, ooh ah, that's how it starts. But then later there's running and screaming. And then they meet with Julianne Moore. And then she gets with a encounter with a baby Stegosaurus. Well done practical effect. And then her camera goes malfunctions, I think out of film or something. Then one Stegosaurus swings its spiked tail she's in the log and impales the log, but doesn't hurt her. And then they get back to their camp, and then Jeff Goldblum's daughter, played by Vanessa Lee Chester, she snuck on out. She's there with them. And yes, I will still agree that there's no reason for. But people say there's no reason for the kid to be there though. Vanessa Lee Chester, she was not bad in the movie though, performance wise though, but I do get what people say that there was no need for this girl to come along, no need for that. And I will say, yes, I do agree with the incident where she's doing the gymnastics and when she kicks the raptor out the window. I do agree with that, though. But I know a lot of people don't like that idea of that, though. But I've seen less ridiculous things I've seen in other movies, especially when in creature feature films, there's been other ridiculous ideas that I've seen. So yeah, the whole gymnastics thing, yeah, I totally understand that, though. I can even understand, yeah, it's a dumb as well, but I've seen more ridiculous stuff than I've seen than a gymnastic kicking it kicking a velociraptor out of the window. I've seen much more stupider ideas, believe me. But I do understand that, though. I will agree with the dumb thing about that, though, but I let that go because I've seen stupider stuff. And then they see more helicopters come, but they're from the company of Engine. And then Lolo's there with the whole crew, and you get Pete Postlewaite's character, which I like his character of Roland. He's this hunter. It's like, your money, you can keep it. All in exchange, I want to hunt the male Tyrannosaurs, because he's a hunter. He's like trophy rooms. Because there's a deleted scene where he's talking with his friend RJ, played by Harvey Jason, where he's talking about where his friend talks about this expedition, and in the deleted scene where he sees there's these tourist guys giving this waitress some trouble, and Pete Postlewaite, I like him as an actor. It's too bad he's no longer with us. I like his character as well. He picks he sees that they're with this waitress, but then he starts pick a fight with this guy. The guy's like, I could take you with one hand tied, and so they tie Pete Postlewaite with one of his hands up, and he goes and beats the crap out of this one guy one-handed. He punches the guy and goes and gets a drink, and then punches him out again, and then the guy's friends picks him up and then smashes his nuts between a pole. And then he goes back talking with his friends RJ, take a look around my trophy room. Just what possibly was so great about this expedition. And then I think Steven Spielberg, though that Pete Postaway is a great actor, so it's nice of him to say that though. But I like Pete Postaway. I like his character, and I like him as an actor as well. So yeah, he exchanged. So he said, keep your money. I want exchange. I want to hunt one of the male tyrannosaurs. And it's also funny with him trying to pronounce the name of a certain dinosaurs, like pet words, like oh hell, the one with the dome or whatever. So Jeff Goldblum and company are watching them capture these dinosaurs because Ludlow's plan is to take these dinosaurs and ship them to his own little Jurassic Park in San Diego. So Julianne Moore and Vince Vaughn, they get down there, they let loose the captured dinosaurs, even one that has a Triceratops, which where Ludlow is explaining to his community back in the mainland, and the Triceratops are smashing stuff. Yeah, there was a part where they could just injure some people. Yeah, of course. And what else going on? Vince Vaughn rescues a baby Tyrannosaur that Pete Postaway was going to use to bring in the adults, and its leg is broken. And Vince Vaughn, Julie Moore, they take it back to the RVs. They do repair its leg, and the baby Tyrannosaur is a good. It's definitely a good model practical effect. It's still a good effect. Take this, to nowadays probably they just CGI the thing. Like, it's basically you're holding nothing when you CGI it. It's me seeing it. He's actually physically carrying something. But I still like the baby T-Rex. So Jeff Goldblum gets in there because they know the Tyrannosaurs are coming, so he rushes in there, but it's too late. The parents of the T-Rexes are there, and he's like, "Mommy's very angry." And once again, excellent Stan Winston effects of the T-Rexes. They let the baby go, and then he knows so bad. Like, hang on, this is gonna be bad. And they flip the trail over, and they're pushing over the cliff, and you get this good. This is a very. I always enjoy this sequence. Probably to a lot of people as well when when the trailer's hanging off the cliff, and Julianne Moore, she falls down. She's standing on the glass and it starts cracking. And nothing there. Then down below was on the sea cliff down below. But she manages to be saved by Jeff Goldblum. Your lucky pack. And Richard Schiff. He tries his damnedest to help them. Like, first he tries to get a rope for them to climb, and he's like, "Well, okay, what else a rope? What else you need?" And they're like, "Yeah, 3 double cheeseburgers, no onions on mine, no pickles either." So he gets him a rope to climb, but the trailer starts sliding back, and he gets his car with wire hook it to the trailers, and he's putting it in reverse, trying to pull his best to pull it back, and then you get John Williams' score. This approach when the T-Rexes, they come back with John Williams' score playing, which I like that part of this John Williams score. Dun, dun. So the T-Rex comes, they break apart the car, and gruesome death for Eddie Carr. Gruesome death. I know in the book he died differently. In the book he died from velociraptors, but this is just a much more gruesome death that I see. Was on the screen, like, T-Rex picks him up, tosses him, and the T-Rex just goes and tears him apart. That is a I would say, yeah, it's not bloody though, but it's the whole execution of it. It's him being torn in half by 2 T-Rexes, and that totally sucks because he was doing his best to save those guys. But the trailers go with them inside. You see them, they're holding onto the rope, and they're just like basically slid through as the whole trailer falls down the cliff. But then they get rescued by Pete Postaway and his group. So they have no choice, but there's one of the engine facilities in the other part of the island, so they're gonna have to walk there. And at one point, where Peter Stormare Which, yeah, people say something. This scene could be completely cut out because as this Pete passed away, he gets lost because, well, his friend doesn't hear him. Um, so he gets himself lost and he gets attacked by the compies because he was a douchebag before. Then he gets attacked. He countered a little one, shocks it, and now they're all going after him. Yeah, I get this whole thing could have been cut out, but I still like it because there's still a good mixture of practical and CGI effects of the compies. Like when they're all over him and one's like sort of like biting his lip like this. Um, and they're still following him. And then he leaps over. He trade clothes over a log, and there. Yeah, his death was not much though, but and I think that they went with this because it was like close to John Hammond's death in the book. Because in the first book, John Hammond he gets killed by the compies. So I guess they're trying to do a nod to that death in the book. Yeah, but some people think of this whole thing part could be cut out because some people think that the pacing is a little bit slow and that part could be cut out to save time. I do understand that though. I do. This is why these issues I do understand what people don't like about reasons why people don't like this sequel. I get that though. But none of this stuff didn't never bothered me once when I was a kid, so now even though nowadays I do understand the issues though, but I still not letting that bother me because I do enjoy the movie. Um And then during then when the night where they're sleeping and the T-Rex pokes his hand in the tent where Vanessa Lee Chester and Julianne Moore because her jacket had the blood of the baby T-Rex, which yeah, why didn't just dish the jacket because when I think the blood would attract the parents still. And then one guy screams and they all start pegging, they run away. Pete Postway, he tries to shoot it though, but Vince Vaughn, he took out the bullets. But he gets a tranquilizer and tranks the male T-Rex, while the female T-Rex chases Vince Vaughn, Julianne Moore, and Vanessa Lee Chester into this low part where the waterfall, and this other guy who is the dino expert of the engine team named Burke. He panics because a snake crawled into his shirt, and the T-Rex grabs him, and you see this blood in the waterfall. Like, you hear a crunch, then blood. And then you get another good scene where the rest of the engine team... They're in the tall grass. Even Pete Postway's Roland, it was his character's name. His friend RJ, he's yelling, "Don't go into the long grass, not into the long grass." Which is funny that he's yelling at them, "Don't go in the long grass," but he goes in there with them anyway. And they all get picked off by the Velociraptors. And I like the upshot where the group is going this way, and behind them the Velociraptors are sneakingly. You see the grass, like the imprint of the grass, move in. You see the Velociraptors slowly, silently sneaking and taking each of the crew members. I do like that because it shows that the Velociraptors are smart because they're pack hunters. But then the others, they go to the tall grass without incident as they reach the engine facility. Vince Vaughn, he gets there, gets on the radio to call for help, which he disappears for a good period the whole time when Jeff Goldblum and the others, they're attacked by the Velociraptors. Where he's been the whole time when they've been attacked there. Why, yeah, he's calling for help, of course, yes. But you still get to see, and once again, there's some good up-close practical effects of the Velociraptors, like when Jeff Goldblum. Well, first of all, he gets a door as a shield to protect himself. Then he gets in the car, and the Velociraptor slowly make his way through, break into this window, trying to reach to him. And then when he gets in the other part of the building where the other two girls are, yes, you do get the dumb part of the girl doing gymnastics, kicking the Velociraptor out the window. Yes, I've already addressed this. And because it showed how when Jeff Goldblum says, "The school cut you from the team?" Yeah. Plus, I do understand why people don't like that scene as well. I do understand that. Even though, yes, I do think it is silly. I do agree with it. Um, but eventually they get out and they get rescued on a helicopter, but it doesn't matter because Arliss Howard so that Roland has captured the T-Rex though, and Roland he's not proud of what he's done now because he mentioned that his friend didn't make it, and it's like when Arliss Howard offers him a job at San Diego, and it's like, no, thank you. I believe I've spent enough. I believe I've spent enough time in the company of death. And I like it. I do like his character though. Like he never didn't care about the money, but by the time he gets his trophy though, but he changed his mind because his friend died because of all this, and he doesn't want to work with Engine anymore because that's what he said, the company of death. Then they see the T-Rex get caged, and that's when the last we see of Vince Vaughn. He just disappears after that, never to be seen again. And then at San Diego, they're all at the pier, and then they see the ship that had the T-Rex is still going full speed ahead though, not stopping, and the whole ship crashes through the dock. Now, yes. This is kind of the part where, yes, it has mind baffled everybody since they first saw this. What killed the crew on board? Because some theories say it was a T-Rex, which I say is silly. Because how the T-Rex can get his head through the captain's the cockpit where for the steering wheel to drive the ship. Because Arliss Howard sees a severed hand on the wheel. Yeah, no way a T-Rex could have done that though. Which in the original part, what they were going with was Velociraptors were loose on the ship. I buy that more because that's why, hence the severed hand on the wheel and another dead body that was holding the controllers on where the T-Rex is being held. Yeah, no way the T-Rex could have killed everybody on board. That's why I buy the fact that more of the Velociraptors were to kill everybody on board. It makes more sense. But they didn't go with that. I do get that though. I wish they would have went with that part, with the explanation of Velociraptors killing people on board. Otherwise, just leaving it as a cliffhanger of what happened. Yeah, but I always speculated that it makes more sense that Velociraptors killed the crew on the board, not the T-Rex. So, but then the T-Rex gets loose, and now the T-Rex is loose in San Diego, and then he's walking in the neighborhood where behind this house, and it's funny that that the T-Rex sees like a basketball hoop, and you notice his small little arm is like doing this, like dribbling. I actually found that kind of funny because I noticed why his little arm was doing this, but it was because he sees a basketball hoop, and that's why he's pretending like he's dribbling the ball. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then there's this boy who sees it, and then he shows his parents, oh, there's a dinosaur in our backyard. And then eats their dog. So Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore, they get to like Ludlow's theme park to get the baby Rex. And then Jeff Goldblum says like, first Julianne Moore says, how are we supposed to find the adult? And Jeff says, follow the screams. And then people are running away in the city, or they're running away from the T-Rex, and the T-Rex takes out a bus, like it smashes it and goes right into a Blockbuster. Oh, what's a Blockbuster? Yeah, I bring that up because Blockbuster. I always enjoyed growing up, Yeah, and so you see a Blockbuster, and you see like these fake posters for fake films, like one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, one with Robin Williams, and one with Tom Hanks. That's a joke that just did not go well. I mean, that joke is parodied a lot better at Last Action Hero, Last Action Hero with the Stallone poster for Terminator 2. That's still funnier, but yeah. I say that with the parody posters, I think didn't fit well. I would say. And then you see, but after this one, I thought it was funny. You see these Japanese guys running away, hence from the Godzilla franchise. You know, Japanese guys running away from a dinosaur, like Godzilla. That I still find that funny. Because the last time I saw, I recently when I recently watched this film was this past Thanksgiving because I was watching with my dad. It was on TV. Me and dad were watching this, and this Thanksgiving that is for this year, and we watched it on the TV. And when we saw with the Japanese guys running away, my dad was like laughing, and me too, because yeah, the hence the callback for Godzilla. And then you see the writer, David Cope, as which in the credits is titled Unlucky Bastard, and T-Rex grabs him. Which speaking with David Cope, which is that some people think the film was lacking was in the script. Some instances, yeah, I can understand though, but there is much more shittier scripts than in creature feature films. But yeah, some people think that David Cope was to blame because the script was not that great. That's another reason why people think the sequel's their least favorite. So, but yeah, with David Cope's scene when he's like screaming, and I didn't really buy that kind of scream. It's like yeah, but then I do have if I get into the funny scene where the 76 gas station and the 76 ball rolls by and then he's like I thought it was another funny scene. And then the T-Rex scares away the police and animal control. And then following all the way back to the boat. And Arliss Howard, he wants the baby Rex, so he tries to get out of the he tries to run away, but the Rex crunches his leg and feeds him to the baby T-Rex, and the T-Rex is like, well, the baby T-Rex jumps on him, and then the T-Rex is looking at him. So they bring it back into the ship, and then have it shipped back to Isla Sorna. And when you see the television with the ship on the news, you see Steven Spielberg's a reflection in there sitting next to the cast members, just for that brief moment. And then we hear John Hammond, telling that if we step aside and trust in nature, saying Ian Malcolm's quote, "Life finds a way." And then you get John Williams' score ending. So yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, the 20 years later, a lot of people don't like the movie. This was one of their least favorite. At least most people say this is their least favorite in the series. I understand that though, but to me, I still enjoy the film. I think it's an underrated sequel, like the third film as well. I think the cast do a good job. I enjoyed Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore, Pete Postlewaite, may he rest in peace. Arliss Howard, yeah, he's not on the same level as Richard Attenborough. I do get that though, but I think Private Cowboy did perfectly fine. I would say he's not great, but he's average still. I still like him as Private Cowboy in Full Metal Jacket. But plus he gets his comeuppance when he gets fed to the baby T-Rex. Vince Vaughn, nice to see him. Same with Peter Stormare. Vanessa Lee Chester, yeah, she didn't do a bad job. But yeah, I agree with a lot of people saying with the whole gymnastics incident was silly. I still get that. The effects by Stan Winston are top notch, excellent, fantastic, with an excellent mixture of CGI, which is still good, with the well done practical effects of the dinosaurs. John Williams' score I enjoy. It's a different, well done score of the theme of Jurassic Park. Steven Spielberg's directing was still a top notch good as well, like he did for the first film. Yeah, the screenplay by David Cope. Yeah, I do agree with some people who say the script was a little bit lacking, as well as the pacing. But to me, other the pacing was fine to me. I don't think it was that slow as what people said it was, because I grew up with this film, so I didn't think it wasn't that boring at all to me. Yeah, with Pure Storm's incident with the compies, I get all these issues people said, I do. But I'm not letting all that bother me, though. But I don't more to say. I still love this film. It's still, to me, a good. I still say it's a good sequel to me. I think it's an underrated sequel. 20 years later, I don't think it's not as bad as everybody says it is. I don't. I still, as I said, I love the Jurassic Park franchise. My all-time favorite film was the first film. This and this third film I put together as one because they're both underrated sequels. And it's for Jurassic World. I'll get to that some other time. Jurassic World is not on the same level I'll put it as like the first film here, the two sequels, 2 and 3 are here. Jurassic World's down here though, but I have issues with it though, but I'll get to that when I review Jurassic World though, but not right now. I'm here reviewing the 20th anniversary of me revisiting of the Lost World. And I think that this will be the last anniversary review I'll be doing. Because I got through a lot. This year I definitely got a lot of anniversary reviews. I did more than I did last year. Like a lot of 87s. And then a lot of 97 as well. Yeah, so I did a lot. I did more anniversary reviews than I did last year. Which is pretty good because a lot of stuff for an 87 and 97. So, but this will be my last anniversary review I'll be doing. And I already gave a reason why I did not choose not to review 20th anniversary of Titanic though. But even though this film has a 53% Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.59 DB, it's understandable. I mean, I understand what other people think though, but I still love this film. I love the book. I still love the movie. I enjoy the film as well. The trailer scenes, in San Diego, and the effects, the cast, score, all that. Even despite the issues that I do understand from what people don't like about it. But as I still enjoy, it's still a good directed by Steven Spielberg. For films that he doesn't hardly direct sequels, besides the Indiana Jones films, he still did a good job with the sequel. In which the next one with Jurassic Park 3, like Joe Johnston, he was going to direct this one though, but Steven Spielberg's like, no, I'll make this one, but you can do the next one. So, in which Joe Johnston, he did a good job with Jurassic Park 3 as well. But and that's one I also did in part, so I'll have to get to some other time though. But this one here, I just saw for the one. So the 20th anniversary of the Lost World Jurassic Park. I still love this film. To me, it is like right here. Which right here, I didn't mean to say. That's the side. Right here, because I always love the franchise. So I grew up with this franchise, so that's why it's my favorite franchise. So maybe a reason to love dinosaurs. So. But like I said, I do understand what people think. I do understand why people don't like the film. But yeah, to me, I still love the film. And as a film, it has a lot of features, but I won't get into it. But I've already explained this stuff in my 5-part review of this, so you can check all that out. But yeah, I want to get this proper because I would do it all as a one video. So yeah, but that's my 20th anniversary of me revisiting one of my favorite sequels, The Lost World Jurassic Park. To me, I still give it a thumbs up. I still think it's underrated to me. But thanks for watching and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.